Hello everybody and thank you for joining me. This is Sierra from Sierra T Designs and today I have a really fun collab for you. So I'm going to quickly show you what I got sent by my friend Kendra, who is who I'm collabing with today. Her and I did a like a D-stash crafty trade where we kind of showed each other images of what we had in our stash that we weren't using or we didn't want to keep, and then the other person chose what they wanted out of the stash and then we sent it to each other. And then we decided to do a collab together, creating a card with the items that came in the box. Now obviously I am going to have to use a couple of items that aren't in this box because I didn't get like glue or anything like that, so there will be some items that didn't come in this box, but I'm just showing you quickly what I did get in my trade box from Kendra. And I will have a list of all the products listed down below if you want to look at any of them online. And Kendra also has a video of the box that I sent to her. So that will be the first link in the description down below if you want to go and check out what she made with the supplies that I sent to her. Please do go give her a view there. And if you like what you see, please leave her a like, leave her a comment, and maybe subscribe if you enjoy the content that she's showing on her channel. So yeah, so I'm just doing a really quick view of what was sent in my package. I have a couple of colors of cardstock here. I love the pink cardstock, so I don't use colored cardstock very often, but on the rare occasion I kind of like it, so I did use some of that. So I'm going to use the stencil. It's Honeybee's River Rock stencil, and I did put some Pixie Spray on the back so that it would stick to my piece of cardstock here. And as usual, I have a piece of Neenah Solar White cardstock cut down to 1/8 of an inch smaller than my black matte, which is cut to 1/8 of an inch smaller than my A2 sized card base. So I am going to use the Nuvo Embellishment Mousse that was sent in the box there, and this is the color Aquamarine, and I just used my Nuvo Spatula and I'm kind of just putting some on my base here. Now I've never used Nuvo Mousse before, so this was really interesting to play with. It was a little, what's the right word? Like it was a bit tougher. I'm not sure if that's the right word for what it felt like, but it was quite thick. Maybe thick is the better word for that. So it was a little bit different than what I thought it was going to be to kind of put it on, but it went on beautifully once I kind of got it out of the container there. And then I'm going to lift the stencil up and just show you kind of what my background's looking like there. And then I took the two puffins out of the LawnFawn Stud Puffin stamp set, and I'm going to use the stamps and the dies. And I also grabbed a sentiment from my stash. It's the Altenew Halftone Stars sentiment. It's Happy Birthday. I never have enough happy birthday cards, so whenever I have an excuse to make a birthday card, or a thank you card really, but in this case a birthday card, I always kind of gravitate to those. So I also grabbed a sentiment that just says happy birthday. And you're going to see that I did stamp out the little fish that came in the stamp set as well. I don't end up using it. I stamped it out thinking that I would have one of the puffins holding it, but in the end I didn't use it. So you're just going to see me stamp it out, but I didn't do anything with it. So we're going to jump into some Copic coloring. So these colors didn't come in the box, but I did get some Copic colors in the box. So I have here, I'm going to use V09 and BV29 on the little, I'm going to call her my girl puffin. So I kind of went for darker purple shades to kind of give her a bit of a different look than what I'm going to call my male puffin. And he's going to be... I don't think I wrote down what he is. He's grays. I'm going to assume it's some neutral grays. Let me see here. I don't know. I didn't write down what I used. That's odd. But I'm going to assume that it's probably like a C, C7, and C9, I think is what the colors I chose there. And you can see it on the screen. It's in the little corner there for you. So yeah, I just kind of shaded under where their wing was, and then behind the body, and where their body kind of met. And then I did use YR16 for the feet and the beak. And then I did use the dies as well. So here you can see I also got the die set with the stamp set. And so I used those to cut out the puffin. And I didn't even, like, you can see the fish is still on the piece of paper there because I used my Gemini Go. So I kind of trimmed this down so that I could easily put it through my little Gemini Go machine. And then I am going to trim out the sentiment. And I've been loving black matting my sentiments as well as my bases. So here you can see I'm going to stick this down to a piece of black cardstock. It's the exact same black cardstock that I used for the black mat for the card base. And then I'm just going to mat my sentiment down on that same piece of cardstock really close to the edge, because I'm trying to kind of get that same 1/8 of an inch, although I am going to eyeball my measurement there. And then I just bring the trimmer back in, and I've kind of been lining up my sentiment. And sorry, this goes a little bit off camera. I didn't realize it was that far down. I've kind of been eyeballing my measurements a bit and using the clear hand protector, I guess it is, to kind of line it up to have it be equal on all the sides. So at this point, the the cardstock with the Nuvo mousse is dry, and I'm going to stick it down to the black mat, and we're kind of just going to attach everything together here. So there isn't a lot left at this point. I made a fairly simple card. I just thought that these little puffins should kind of be the star of the show, and I didn't want too much going on behind them. So to avoid that, I didn't make a pretty elaborate card. I thought that this turned out super cute. LawnFawn stamp sets are just beautiful. Like, there's no question. Sorry, there was a cat hair stuck to my cardstock there, which is, you know, common considering I have quite a few cats. So I just stuck that down, and then I'm going to stick down my mat to my my side fold A2 card base, and then we're going to add the puffins and the sentiment. So yeah, I did kind of opt for a little bit of a simpler card here. I hope you guys like it. I think it turned out pretty cute. But make sure you go and check out what Kendra created, because hers is quite a bit different than what I would have thought to do with those supplies. So make sure you go and check out her video. I'm gonna have to check it out. I haven't seen it. I've seen the card, but I haven't seen the video yet, because it'll be going up at the same time as mine. So I'll have to go and give it a watch so I can see how she made the card that she made. And yeah, so Kendra is just another lovely lady who's doing the YouTube thing. If you guys haven't seen her channel before, please check it out. She's very, very sweet, a good friend of mine. We talk all things crafty and chat away. Sadly, we don't live anywhere near each other, because I think a crafty date, I mean, once the COVID thing has kind of passed, but a crafty date with her would be lovely, but sadly, we don't even live in the same country, so. But yeah, so I added a couple of foam squares to the back on my little puffins so I could pop them up and give them a little bit of dimension. And once those are all ready to go down on the base there, and I am going to set them on top of the sentiment so that kind of grounds them so that they aren't just floating on the card, because I didn't really, like, the water background is awesome, but it doesn't really ground them, so I did opt to kind of sit them on top of the sentiment so that would kind of add a ground to them. And I am excuse me, going to add a little bit of glitter pen to, I just did the feet and their beak, not a lot, just a little bit of added shimmer, of course, because I couldn't avoid it, and then a little bit of white detail. And here I'm showing you that I like to scribble on my finger to get the ink to run again. I find that the ball kind of dries out a little bit, and then if I just kind of run it across my thumb, I find that the ink starts to flow a bit better. So I am going to pick up the card and just show you here all this cool glitter in that mousse. So that mousse is pretty neat. I've never used it, so that was a fun experiment there. So that's a card I have for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, if you'd like to leave me a comment, leave me a like, and maybe consider subscribing. I'd love to see you again. Thank you so much, guys. Bye-bye.